Hello, good afternoon. My name is Laura Smith, and I'm experimenting with lighting outside. I want to get outside today. It's so beautiful. But I help you raise the bar on your fitness and nutrition and in turn improve other areas of your life. And this is something I did. It started really 8 years ago, about 8 years ago. And because of what's happened to me and what I have learned since, it's just made a dramatic difference, not only in my body, but in my life. I have so much more confidence and energy. I'm a much more productive, vibrant person, and a much more giving and loving with my family and my friends. And it's just something that I want to share with people, and that's why I'm a coach. But today's topic, what I wanted to talk about is nutrition in just very general terms, because I get a lot of questions about, how did you start, and what are the most important things when it comes to just wanting to know how to eat a little better. Not necessarily even diving headfirst into a program, but just wanting to know the basics. And you know what? I bet you already know. I bet you already know what you need to do, but it's just hard, and your head gets in the way, and your schedule gets in the way. So I'm going to talk to you about 3 things that made the biggest difference for me when I changed my nutrition. And I jumped, when I was really ready, I kind of baby stepped for like a year. And when I was really ready, I jumped head first into mainly these 3 things, and it made all the difference in the world. But if you feel like that's too much and you just want to bite off one, you are still improving your health, and that's an amazing thing. So to preface this, I'll tell you a little story. When I first started wanting to just be healthier, I was kind of quickly approaching 40, not feeling great about myself. My kids were school aged, and I had a little bit more time to dive into what I wanted to do. And I just really started by I was working out like 2 days a week, and I added an extra workout at home, and just kind of started watching what I ate in terms of quantity and dropping out the sweets and things like that. I just started watching what I ate. And I did get results. Over a year, I felt better because I was working out a little more. I was successful in losing weight. I lost about 12 pounds. I lost like a couple of clothing sizes, not really quite 2 clothing sizes, but went down at least a clothing size and felt better. But because I'd been successful in just doing that pretty much, on my own, I was curious because I felt like I needed to know more about the food piece of it, because you always hear that's a huge piece of it, right? It's, 80-20 or sometimes more. And, I would be going to the gym with the same people, and I know they were there all the time because I was there on more kind of a sporadic schedule, but they were there like whenever I was there, and they were working out all the time. And I wasn't being critical of anybody else, but I would see people and their bodies never change. They would work out all the time and their bodies weren't changing. So I just started getting curious, right? And I wanted to delve more into the nutrition side. And at the time, I hooked up with a coach, which I have become, who took me through like a 10-day challenge. And I went all in because I wanted to learn. I just want to learn how to fuel my body. I mean, we put great fuel in our cars, and we might even be a little picky about that. We're not going to like buy fuel from a risky source or put crap stuff in our cars because we want them to run smoothly. And if you do it and they don't run smoothly, you wouldn't be surprised. It's the same thing with our bodies, but I don't know why it's so easy to put bad stuff in our bodies and not think a thing about it when we wouldn't put bad stuff in our cars or something we wanted to run smooth, because without good fuel, your body doesn't run smooth either. So I started learning how to put good fuel in because I wanted my body to run better. And I couldn't believe the difference that it made. So to tell you how important this is and why this is so important to me, it took me a year, I told you, to lose like my first 12 pounds and 1 to 2 clothing sizes. And then 3 months that followed my 10-day learning experience, I doubled my weight loss and I lost 2 more clothing sizes. And all I changed was the way I was eating. I started paying attention and doing it right, and it wasn't hard. And I'm going to give you 3 simple concepts that anybody can do, and I bet you already know what they are. Number 1, I eliminated processed foods as much as possible. I mean, it's almost impossible to eliminate them entirely in today's day and age, but I eliminated processed foods. and I started reading labels. So I eliminated, stayed on the outside of the grocery store, and I had a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables, lean meats from, better sources, and I eliminated anything and stuff in boxes, and I looked at every single ingredient label, and if it had more than a few ingredients, especially stuff I couldn't understand, I wouldn't eat it. And that's huge. I mean, if you just start there, that makes a huge difference. And you think something is a, somewhat healthy food, and then you look at the label and it's like 20 different things, and those are things that make the food last longer, that they're not necessarily good for your body, right? You want your food to like decompose and go bad over time, not last forever. So I just got rid of a ton of that stuff, and I kept it simple. And it was kind of crazy, but my cooking and stuff got a lot simpler, and it was actually easier. It didn't complicate things. It was actually easier just focusing on getting rid of the processed foods. The second thing that made a huge difference for me was white flour, getting rid of white flour. And yeah, I know it's bread. I know you might love bread, but it's like a lot of calories and stuff your body doesn't really need, and you can eat more of better things if you get rid of the bread and the pasta. And it's not that you can't eat bread or pasta, it's just you want to focus on, whole grain pasta, whole grain bread, anything that says whole is better, and you're getting rid of white flour. So if that's kind of a vice of yours, that might be a tough one, but it does make a huge difference, and you can eat more of other foods that are more satisfying and fill in all your nutritional gaps better if you get rid of that. And for me, that wasn't that tough, like just conscientiously doing that. I like food, so I like to eat a lot, and if I could eat more of the other stuff because I wasn't eating the bread and the pasta, like that was cool with me. I was great with that, right? So I got rid of white flour. Now the other one, if you follow me at all, I'm a sugar addict. So I got rid of a lot of refined sugar. And I had already, really cut down on sweets that have obvious sugar on them, desserts that have obvious sugar. But I hadn't been reading labels. So when I started reading labels kind of to eliminate a lot of the processed stuff that had too many ingredients in it, I started reading grams of sugar. And I was amazed at the stuff that I thought was healthy that had so much sugar in it. So I'll just give you a simple example, like yogurt, right? Like the yogurt I was eating actually had too much sugar in it, and it doesn't need that in there. So I switched to just like Greek yogurt that was high protein, and I would buy it plain so it wouldn't be flavored, and I would add a little bit of my own fruit and use stevia as a sweetener or whatever. Like that was easy, and what I was eating still tasted great. So I was amazed, even when I eliminated sweets, how much sugar I was still getting. It was so much. So I just had to get rid of that. And those, honest to God, are the three things that made the biggest difference for me. And I'm a true test of it, because I really didn't change anything with my workouts. I just changed the way I ate, and what drove every decision I made when it came to food was those three concepts. That really sums up so much of it. And I had a ton of success. My body cooperated. I was fueling it well. I felt amazing, right? So I would say start there. And if it seems overwhelming, start with one. If you need tips or suggestions, or you want more information from me, that's what I'm here for. And you may be wondering, well, some of you might know that I drink a supplement called Shakeology Daily, and it's whole food nutrition, no crap, no artificial colors, flavors, no soy. Why did I need to do that when, a lot of this happened before I brought Shakeology into my life daily? It happened actually for me when I got to maintenance, because I remember it was summer, and I was on a great roll, and I didn't, I was below what I thought could be my goal weight, and I wanted to keep it. But my schedule changed when my kids came home for the summer, and I've always done some type of work from home. So at the time I had another business I was trying to keep going to, and my schedule got crazy, and I couldn't go to the grocery store by myself anymore and concentrate, and I didn't like that. And I was like trying to make them lunch, and I was scraping the bottom of my veggie drawer for salads, and it was just stressful, like trying to keep the fridge stocked with all the foods I wanted to eat, and it took more time when they weren't in school. So I just wanted to make a darn shake and take those kids to the pool. And that's when I found Shakeology. It made nutrition so much easier. Now, knowing what I know now, would I have used it for weight loss? Absolutely. But it has a place in my life no matter what my fitness goals are, because it fills in so many of those nutritional gaps that are just really hard to get. It's so impossible for us to eat as well as we need to, even when we're really paying attention, because the nutritional value of our food just is not what it used to be. And everybody really needs to supplement with something. And if it's something that you're going to put in your body every day, you better make darn sure you read the label and be really careful about what that is. But when you start filling in the gaps that you're missing, like, great things happen. You don't crave as much. You feel better. Your energy levels are higher. So much of what we ail from is due to poor nutrition. It's not due to getting old. I have a lot of people in my world who talk about their aches and pains and getting old and this and that. And granted, there are some physiological things that some people are dealing with. But when it comes to just energy and not feeling good every day, especially, like, that is not age. That could be nutrition. And it's fixable. So why wouldn't you want to fix it? Even if it's just taking one small step. So I love fitness, but I'm even more passionate about nutrition, because when I finally grasped what I needed to do and how to do it, my entire life changed. So please, I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear what you struggle with. I would love to hear what's hard for you, and maybe I can make some helpful suggestions. My next group opportunity, if you've been watching my posts, you know I've been really into this 3-week yoga retreat. You guys, I'm not a yoga girl. I am not a yoga girl. I can't clear my mind for that. I do PiYo, and I'm a PiYo instructor, and I love PiYo because the music fills my head and blah, blah, blah. This is like the simplest form of yoga you will ever do. It's not hokey at all. There are no ohms or chants or candles or any of that, but it just strips it down. Now, I am keeping up with my other workout schedule. I'm doing hammer and chisel right now, but I am adding the yoga retreat in as an addition. So it can be an addition if you're doing other workouts, just to increase your flexibility and really just, for me, it's a great stress relief. So I can't believe it, but I'm building a group around that. And to get back to my talk about nutrition in general, is that, of course, I'm going to be sharing as much as I know and connecting you with other resources to help you improve your nutrition. And you can actually do this whole thing with me for free, believe it or not, but there is a kind of a level 2, like for people that want to learn, as I did, how to fuel your body. There is an option where you can make an investment, a relatively small investment in yourself for everything that you get. And you will learn how to do what I did, but it's going to be so much easier for you because of the tools that I have to share with you. So reach out to me about that, or all things. I am not a nutritionist. If I go to the next level in my education, that's what I want to do. I'm just this person who's had success learning some very basic principles, and anybody can learn them. And I think what I can provide and what some of my groups provide are that accountability and that support that sometimes is missing when you're trying to do something on your own. And I'm here to tell you, I've maintained and taken my fitness to different levels in the last 7 years. And it's not that I never had bad days or get frustrated, but I have this network of support, and it is open for you. I would absolutely love to share it with more of you. So have a great day. Know that any time and effort you put into loving and taking care of yourself is going to pay your loved ones back in spades. So thanks for listening. I love doing these, and I love coming outside. So let me know what kind of topics you want to hear about, even if they're not fitness and nutrition related, something you see me post about that you're curious, and we'll do more live video and share a little bit more with you, and I'd love to hear back. All right? Thanks. Have a great day.